So you join us back on episode 2 of the Gemini Carp Tackle and Carp Interest collaboration. This episode is called The Forgotten Lake. This is a lake in Market Raisin called Fish Pond Farm. It's a 40-year-old lake. Due to the new owners, they've started to put pegs back in, they've cut it all back, de-weeded the lake, put an otter fence up, and they've restocked it with fish.
Before we got everything set up, we decided we'd put one rod out each. Like I say, I'm on the solid bags again, Pete's on the singles, and within 5 minutes of it being in the water, a beautiful dark, might scrape a double figure. So I'm going to get this one back and then we'll finish setting up and we'll go through exactly what we're going to be doing this session. So I'm going to be using the solid bags again, same as last time, only this time I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Gemini Carp Tackle also do a tubing system with the tidy stems. This basically means any waters where there's a tubing only rule, meaning that you can't use any sort of leaders or fish a naked presentation, these are absolutely ideal to carry on presenting your solid bags. First of all, you want to take your length of rig tubing. Like I say, I like to cut mine into 4 pieces, giving you 1/2 metre length each time. You take the small metal tool that's provided in the kit. It's recommended that you slide that 40 millimetres down the rig tubing first. Then you want to take your connector. As you can see, one side of the connector is smaller than the other side, so it's small side on first. You want to pass that over the top of the cut rig tubing. Really comes into its own here now, cutting it at an angle. As you can see, that goes on far easier than it would if it was flat. Now you can remove the tool and there's your rig tubing all ready to go. Nice and easy. I'm going to be really quick doing this now because the rain is threatening to come. But the end of your main line, pre-tied solid bag with the Gemini stem. Simply tie it on, whichever knot you're comfortable doing, which you're confident in. Mine's just the blood knot. And then now, you bring the connector with the tubing and you push over the stem, over the knot, into that connector, to the rubber on the stem, and there you have it. Not really close enough, but that's probably where I had the first fish from. Right, and so we've only just finished setting up. They are getting slightly bigger, but to be honest with you, they are absolutely stunning fish. Jet black, really dark across the back. But yeah, at the minute, I can't keep a rod in the water. So bite number 3, again, by no means a monster, but when they look like this, if she'll behave, it really doesn't matter, does it? Lovely big scales, jet black across the back. That really is one for the future, that one. They are getting bigger. And like I said before, hopefully the really big ones will turn up at some point. Just quickly show the other side before we slip it back. Beautiful fish, and that puts Solid Bags 3-0 into the lead already. Off she goes.
So on one of my single rods, this is the method. I am using a Ronnie Rig tidy boom section from Gemini. Always kicking away, love it. And up the business end is a size 6 Aqualine, micro barbed. Just a nice 12mm pop-up, just something a bit smaller to try and encourage the bites. But just gonna put this one out now, and hopefully it does me a fish. So due to the trees above, I'm having to do side casts, which I'm not very good at. But I'm going to put this one by the reed line over the far side, try and get nice and tight. So it's brew time. Just gonna sip my soul away after I've just lost that fish. My only bite of the session and it's gone.
We're still early doors, aren't we? I mean, in all fairness, I had that absolutely manic sort of hour or two earlier, and ever since then it's been dead. Not a thing. So
we'll try and work out the bite times and stuff tomorrow, see if it's consistent. But like I say, I'm just gutted. My only bite has come and gone, and I lost it. But we try again. I'll put it back again, like you just seen, tight to the bank, and we're just going to sit and have a little chat and a little catch up over a little brew. Right, so 4:30. The rod that I tucked into the bank on the single has finally just gone off. Not going to wait, obviously, but again, we're still getting through the smaller ones. Stunning looking fish though. Definitely going to be one for the future. But it's nice to hear the alarms. So here we have the Gemini Fluorocarbon leader. It's got the same similarities as the tidy booms. It's got a light refraction of 1.42, so it's near enough invisible underwater. 3.5 ounce Gemini lead. So this is down to your basic lead clip system. Oh, Liam's in.
This one again is of the same sort of stamp, upper single, might scrape a double figure fish. Yeah, I'm going to get this one back nice and early. The rod's already back out, solid bag again, over by the feeder in the centre of the lake. So we've done over 24 hours now at the Forgotten Lake, and we just can't seem to get through to the big stuff. We've had a lot of fun, loads of action, thick and fast. The solid bags have come into their own, having loads tied up, being able to get them straight back out, but we want to put them up against some bigger residents.
So yeah, we're just going to hit the road now, and we're going to try and get there before the heavens open and quickly get set up wherever we go.
We'll see you when we're there, wherever it is. Let's go! It was nailed for barbless, that was. Right then, 5 o'clock in the morning, absolute screamer of a run. Unfortunately, wrong species. Lovely little tench, but not what we're here for. Get that rod back out and get back to bed. Oh, as if I got Judy denched. Always make sure handles are down, or else you won't get everyone. Bedtime.
So, good morning. We made that long journey from the Forgotten Lake and we headed down to the Bluebell Lakes complex. Now you join us now and we're on Mallard Lake, pegs 6 and 7. We didn't arrive here till late last night, just before dark, which only gave us time to get the rods out and have a bite to eat. I'm just going to get a cup of tea on and I'm going to watch the water for a few hours to see if they're kind enough to give themselves away. This morning, once bite time kind of passes, we're going to get the lead out, find a spot and then go from there. What is that? All morning he was going off and he was just started again. This morning we got up and we've just had a lead around trying to find some clear spots just to put the bait on, but the temperature is sky high today, it's red hot, so we do think they are up in the layers, so we might have to change up some tactics to combat that later, but definitely on the night we're going to go for a spot and we're going to talk tactics a bit further on this afternoon.
Yep. yeah, it might be a case of trying zigs at some point throughout the day.
But we will build up that spot for later on, and then when it gets cooler tonight, we'll put the rods back on the spots.
So I ain't going to go too far out with it because we saw a lot of the fish fairly close in. So just a little fling. There you go. Sink the lime, put that on the rod rest for a couple of minutes just to let the foam melt. You can usually see it come back up to the surface, and then you can start peeling line off, making sure that it's not tangled.
So here's a step-by-step guide on how to use the Gemini. Maybe. So here's a step-by-step guide on how to use Gemini Carp Tackle's tidy boom 5.5 inch for the Ronnie rig. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach an anti-tangle sleeve. So to attach my anti-tangle sleeve, I'm just putting it through a bait needle onto the loop, slowly pushing it onto the rig. So now we have the anti-tangle sleeve on, we move down to the other end. We're going to use a size 6 Aqualine hook, brilliant hook. We're also going to use the already cut to size Gemini Carp Tackle's heat shrink tube. Place it over the eye of the hook, take your boom, pass it through the hook, and then slowly move the heat shrink tube down. Once that's in place, what you do then, heat this up, make sure it's nice and neat, and then we're going to attach a bait screw and a hook bead. And then almost there, put onto your hook bead, and I always slide it round so it's in line with the point of the hook, so it gives it a bit of an aggressive turn. So now we're almost finished. All we need to do now is attach our bait and then possibly some tungsten just to weight it down, all depending on what pop-up we're going to use. If it's a small pop-up, it might... Oh! So I was just filming a piece, and then my right hand rod that's on the spot has just ripped off. It's grating against something.
Steady pressure.
Oh, it's grating, that is. Yeah, it's still on.
Yeah.
And let him have a little bit of line, see if he can...
Yeah, just stay fairly tight because of it being barbless.
So I think he's just snagged me a little bit in some weeds, so I'm just going to put my waders on and try and make my way out and see if I can approach from a different angle to try and free up. It's on the spot, that is. Out the blue. Just filming a little piece. And now he's got me swimming. Wonder how far I can get out there.
Still on?
Yeah, I can feel him fighting still.
Try and give it a bit of, once you're out there, try and give it a bit of side. See if you can get it round.
Get the boat out here.
Nice after.
Have to put him back on the pod and then he can have as long as he needs. So just some bad news. We had to call the bailiff round because it was snagged and it weren't moving, and I didn't want to pull for a break. So he came round, he brought the boat and he went out for us. We got there and there was no fish. A lot of weed, but no fish. But whilst that was all happening, bailiff's gone, looked out, 2 fish jumped over the spot I made this morning with a bait. So I put all 3 rods back on it quite tight, and I'm just going to put some more bait over the top. And hopefully we can get another bite, and that wasn't the last one. Try to keep it nice and accurate. I woke up this morning and when it started to get hot I started to lose a bit of hope. That fish has spurred me on. Cheeky liner. As you can see, I'm sat here in my socks, but the waders are right next to me because I'm going to hop straight into those so I can try and get into the lake, just get a bit of a vantage point, because at about 4 or 5 wraps out it feels like there's some kind of marginal shelf with a lot of weed, and I feel like that's where they're burying themselves. So if I can get in there quick and I can try and bring them around the side, I might stand a bit of a better chance than on the bank.
Well, I persevered with the zigs all day to no avail, unfortunately. I had a funny indication not long after putting the first one out. I had a really big drop back, but I struck into it and there was nothing there. But being as Peter's managed to hook one off the bottom, I've decided that I'm going to get the 3 solid bags out now, a little bit of bait over the top, and see if I can get set up ready for the night. So all we're doing with the mix then, we've got some 4mm pellets, we've got some of the DNA bug, wholes and crushed, and then over the top of that with plenty of liquid. Hopefully that'll be the winning tactic for this evening.
So we've just overcome by a storm. Just looked at the weather app, it says it's going to be here for about an hour. Thunder and lightning, fair bit of rain. So hopefully this crashes the pressure and encourages some bites. I mean, call it wishful thinking, but I'm going to keep that there. Just in case I forget, I run in the lake like a maniac. So just put the net in the side, feeling confident. Tell you what, it does look absolutely amazing at the moment. Got the sun beaming that side, a rainbow and a storm that side. I just thought I'd give you a ring. The lake is looking sweet right now.
It's got to drop the air pressure a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the conditions look amazing at the moment.
I'm hoping that maybe they're mooching about out there.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to run round if I get a run though.
I doubt it.
Scumbag.
You're on your own for the next 20 minutes or so, pal.
So we're on our final night now, home time tomorrow. It's just been like a 36-hour session here, really, hasn't it? But we hoped it had been more productive than it has been, but conditions have been quite hard.
It's fishing for you, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say, Bluebell Lakes is fast becoming one of my favourite day ticket venues. It's such a clean and it's stunning, to be fair.
Even the booking system, you have to go and get a ticket before you fish. It saves people, like, I've been to complexes before where there's just cars going everywhere. So you have to go and basically get in a queue. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
But as far as the fishing goes, like I touched on earlier, I've persevered with the zigs all day and it just wasn't working. So the 3 bags have gone back on the spot, just under 80 yards out. I've put a little bit more bait over them. And yeah, I'm still hopeful. We've had a couple of thunderstorms throughout the day, and it's dropped that temperature quite a lot, hasn't it?
So the temperatures today was scorching, to be honest. I was sunbathing in a t-shirt earlier midday, and now I'm wrapped up in joggers and a hoodie, which will go in our favour as we've got spots. So hopefully the fish get pushed down.
The fish have been out there in front of us all session, really. There's definitely been fish in front of us anyway. So yeah, it's just a case of hoping that now this temperature's dropped, the air pressure's dropped ever so slightly, that they start getting the heads down and they do have a bit of a munch.
I'm slightly confident going into tonight. I'd be shocked if we haven't had one between us before we pack up tomorrow. But all we can do is hope.
It's fishing, not catching.
Exactly. And this is eating. Ham and cheese toasty, nice. Oh, a bit burnt.
That's because I am cooking duties.
Oh yeah, you never are.
Stuff gets burnt when I don't do it.
You never cook?
Oh, behave. I don't think you've made a burger on the bank. It's been our like go-to meal. for the last 5 years. I don't think you've ever made one.
I've enjoyed the burgers we've had this session.
It's still in the cool bag. We ain't had time. The steak in the cool bag.
Oh,
What a waste.
Amateurs.
What a waste.
But yeah, so we're just gonna wind down while the sun goes down. How's about that?
Wind down while the sun goes
That's
down.
right, yeah, I'll start one again.
Crack into song then.
I know. Yeah, so we're just gonna chill out now. The camera will be back on in the morning if we don't have anything, but I got a feeling that we are gonna get one this evening.
I think we'll have one between us.
So yeah, see you soon.
Unfortunately, that's our time at Bluebell Lake's come to an end. Well, as good as. We've still got the rods in the water, so unless there's a miracle happening in the next sort of 15-20 minutes, it's going to be a blank this time out, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so yesterday evening we were super confident we was going to get a fish, but it just didn't seem to happen. I'll definitely come back here and give it another try.
And we'll be back out soon with Gemini, putting some more of their tackle through its paces. We're not sure where it's going to be yet, but we're super excited to get into that one.
So guys, again, if you are enjoying the videos, please make sure you like and subscribing to Gemini Carp Tackle and Carp Interest.